Okay. Here we go. My mic is unmuted, so I'm going to be right back to you when it decides to unmute here. Okay, Stacy with Subcity here. Can you hear me now? I'm thinking so because it doesn't show that I Butterflies in Flight Embroidery Collection. And we are going to be making one of these. One of the joys that I have is playing pickleball. It's my favorite thing right now. And some might say people get addicted to it. I think it's a really healthy addiction though. And so as I was looking at these fun practice panels and thinking, what else can we do with them? We have these amazing placemats that we've created with them. We've got these soup bowls that Nan created with them. We have new things coming out soon where we're going to make different. I got pickleball. So this is going to be our pickleball out of our lovely Butterflies in Flight Embroidery collection. But my first one was a little tight. So this one actually barely fit my paddle. And that's something to know is that our paddles are all created equal. There are different sizes of paddles, different widths of paddles. So the pattern that I'm going to be supplying for all of you actually includes both. So you're going to an oversized pickleball paddle cover. In that you actually have access to be able to really incorporate it a zipper. Because I thought, you know what, I take my phone and my keys, and that's really, really neat when I play pickleball, when I'm out or what. Pickleball paddle cover I thought would be super, super helpful. So we're going to add a zipper pocket to it today, but we're going to get started by doing the embroidery first. So I am going to show you some of the supplies that I've actually pulled out for this. So let's go ahead and take a look at our supplies here. Of course, we have our Butterflies in Flight panel, practice panel, and that came out of our class kit here. So this class kit includes one embroidery design. So if you wanted to try this out, you don't want to have to buy the entire Butterflies in Flight embroidery collection, then this one class kit with the practice panel, you actually will get the embroidery design to be able to do this if you wanted to go ahead and do the embroidery. Or if you have the amazing rulers, then you're set because you can create this design with ruler. The class takes you through how to create it both with the ruler. So it's actually like we're going to be using this right here, which is the actual printed. Now I am going to include two different printed patterns for you, printable patterns. One of them is if you have the ability to print on this bigger sheet of paper, then we will give you, it's an 11 by 17. You can go ahead and just print one because that's all you need, guys. See right here, this I used out my my pickleball paddle shape today. And then, but if you only can print on 8.5 by 11, then we're going to have an option for you on the class as well. Now, the good news is you're one of our Elevate Club members, then you're going to have access to all these classes for free. The bowl covers, the pickleball paddle cover, the bags. We are doing what we're calling a gift guide that is going to be coming out in your next box, and you're going to have access to all of those classes with all of the different paper piecing pattern that you need or read them. We're going ahead and doing our embroidery. So you can see I've already hooked up my embroidery, my practice panel, and I have sandwiched it. So I've just used some basic batting that we use here. This is kind of the ultra soft batting. And then I've also included the backing because I'm just going to go ahead and do it like I would any kind of, practice quilt sandwich. Now, the embroidery design that we included in the class kit, I've already loaded onto the computer, or I call it a computer, onto this amazing machine. And so this is actually a 10-inch design, and I went ahead and made it bigger because I wanted to be able to utilize it and just do one. Now, I could go ahead and add another design because I just happen to have my whole butterflies and embroidery collection plugged in here. So if I wanted to add, a little bit more to this, I could. I think I'm just going to be, for the sake of timing, because I'm feeling like this is going to take a little while today, I'm just going to do one. So we'll go ahead and just get started with the one. And I am going to go ahead and drop this design down a little bit lower, just because I'm noticing as I put the grid on here that if I wanted to line this up just right, then I would probably want to have 2, 4, 6 lines before. And then right now I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So it is dropping down a little bit, but I want it to drop down a little bit further. So I'm actually going to go ahead and lower it so there's like 12 lines ahead. So this is the super scientific way of doing it, but we all have different kinds of embroidery machines. So you can see that this machine does have the capability to use kind of an internet-based app where you can actually line this up just perfectly. I just don't have the app loaded right now on my phone, so I'm not going to show you that feature today. But, we all need to know how to line this up with just our grids. Like every single hoop comes with these grids, so you should be using them that way. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So right now I'm loading it at about 10. So if I come down over here, and I'm just going to switch my camera mode here. So if I go ahead and count down 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then I'm right where I want to be as far as the design's concerned. So I'm actually pretty happy with the alignment right now. And then I think that it's going to come down into this section a little bit too. So that'll work out great. So I'm going to go ahead and change the camera view just a little bit so you can get a little bit closer in with me and be able to appreciate this. Let's see if nope, that's too high. Let me go ahead and raise my arm slightly. All right. So we'll just do this view here, and you can get a little bit closer up. All right. And there we go. So let's go ahead and get started then with, just having fun with my camera views now, guys. There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and get you right in there to the needle area. What's the first thing that we need to do besides threading the needle and changing the needle? First thing you need to do is remove the grid. How many times have you felt like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot to remove the grid? I actually do think I have forgotten to remove the grid before, but I can be a little forgetful at times. All right, so let's go ahead and get this all ready to roll. got my needle down and set. Oh, I'm going to pull that through. Now, if I was doing true quilting in the hoop, then I would want to go ahead, drop my needle, and then I would go ahead and pull that up. I would bring up my bobbin thread, just so then everything is good to go. And I've got everything I need on the top. And voila. Look, I did it. And now we are ready to quilt. So let's go ahead and hit go on this machine. And we're going to let this go. I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed down to like a medium. And let's see, I've got the foot. Okay. Let's see. Got to hit go on the embroidery design, and then it will be ready to go. Okay, let's see. Says it's too thick. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go back to this in a little bit. We want to make sure that we don't damage the machine, but I was kind of going back and forth on the right needle or the right foot to use for this. And so I think it has decided that this is a little too thick and I broke the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and put a new needle in. But in the meantime, I'm going to switch cameras because I already have this ready to go for us. We're going to go ahead and cut out our practice panel. So in order to go ahead and cut this out, I've gone ahead and I've already pre-embroidered this, so we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put my needles down here, and we are going to move, and we're going to go ahead and just attach the paper right to my practice panel. And I've kind of lined it up, so I want it to be about center on there. And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put these pins in and be ready to go. And this is pretty thick, so I could see where if I didn't choose the correct foot, and you know, I do have this amazing M17 machine, there are a lot of feet to choose from. So I was trying to decide which one would be the best foot. And I feel like maybe I got off on that one. Okay, so but we can pivot, guys. I'm used to pivoting in this land. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut away. This is just to simply so many different rounded points to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use scissors and use my paper pattern to just create my cutout. So, and I've got it all down here. One of the things I'm super excited about is I spent a weekend in Portland, which is just a couple hours north of me, Portland, Oregon. And it is because it's had some excitement with just everything in the last few years, but it is an absolutely gorgeous city. So I was visiting friends there, and we got to spend the weekend just kind of doing all my favorite. Went to a soccer game, and then the next morning we woke up and we went down to have coffee, and we found this really cool little place called Monticello, and it is basically a antique store with 300 different vendors. 300 different vendors in an antique store. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Walking around there, I found some of the most unique, fun things. But one thing that I always get excited about is when I find anything that's related to what we do. So sewing related stuff. And look what I found. I found these old metal zippers. So I'm actually going to use these in my pickleball paddle cover today. But they had one of their displays. Again, they had like 300 displays set up. People came with their antiques and set it all up. It was so cool. but I was able to go ahead and grab those. And I said, when I do a pickleball paddle cover, I'm going to share where I got these super, super fun zippers from. So that is my goal, is to share with you where these amazing zippers came from and the experience that I had getting them, because it was a really cool weekend. Coming from Eugene, we don't have places like that. It's not a big city here in Eugene. We've got like 200,000 people. So going into a antique store with 300 different vendors is just not something you're going to see. But it was really, really fun and unique. Okay, so now I've got my pickleball paddle shape cut away in my fabric. I'm cleaning up some edges here, guys. I got a little bit excited and got outside the edges, but that should do it. All right. And so now that I've got that one shape done, do my shape. And then we are going to go ahead and we'll have to change the needle on that machine here in a minute, because it definitely needs a new needle now. That's one thing we did is we damaged. Oh. We are going to go ahead and use this. Okay. This is a straight part, so this is going to work really nice and clean up my edge. So now I have my one side of my pickleball paddle cover ready. So let's go ahead and let me show you that right there on the screen. All right. So let's go ahead and see where we're at with the next one. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this foot off because I think it's the culprit. And let me show you what I'm doing here. Yep, there it is. I think this is for what I was after. And all right. So all right, so we're going to go ahead and try this foot. And go look here. Perfect. Okay. And we're going to get some needles as well. So let's go ahead and find my needles. All right. So the next one that we're going to use is, where are you? I hid it from myself. No. Oh, there it is. All right. So we've got this amazing design right here. And we're going to cut this one out now. So I've got this ready to go. This one I got a little bit busier, so it's not going to completely match on the front. But you see that I was able to fill in some different designs on this one. So I was using my Embroidery collection to do that one. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that aside, and we're going to cut this away. All right, so here we go. We are going to go ahead and attach this right here. And I'm actually curious, how many of you watching are actually have played pickleball before? One of the favorite things that I love about it, just like this community here, where we get to kind of join in and dream about our different projects and how we're going to make them better. One of the things that I love about pickleball is that you just have a community of people that you work to get, that you play with and you get to go and enjoy. And I just think that there's so much value in having community in anything. And pickleball, you get you have all types of people and all age ranges that you get to go and meet and have fun with. And, you know, you're kind of all enjoying a common thing. So I'm just curious, how many of you out there, knowing that you're definitely loving your crafts, enjoy some of the hobby as well? If you haven't tried it, I definitely think you should. But my guess is, since it is the fastest growing sport in the nation, it's even going to be a Olympic sport soon, guys. My guess is that you know somebody that enjoys pickleball. So this could also be a really fun present for them. I actually got a super cute pickleball paddle bag for my from my mother-in-law, and it is flamingos all over it. And someone said the other day, "Oh, I wasn't sure whose bag that was," and I was like, "Well, it's mine, and I love pretty things." So that's my response. I love pretty things. All right, so I have now got my two pickleball paddle covers, gone ahead and taken and put those together. So I'm going to put right sides together on that. But first, we're going to install the zipper. And we're going to put the zipper on the front. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose this one to be my front. And so my ruler here, this is a handy little ruler to go ahead and make sure I've got the right length that I want. So this is actually a 9-inch zipper. So I'm going to cut some of it away. But I do want this to be pretty flat because I want to be able to fit my phone in it. And let's take a look here. All right, perfect. And kind of mark where I want to put my zipper. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line here. And I am going to make it somewhat long, just so I kind of have a good idea of what size I want it to be. So I think I'll go ahead and zip. We're going to make it 6. So in order to cut this down, I'm going to use my little straight ruler here. Now, if you have the Westerly Design adjustable locking cutting system, then you're missing out because it is amazing. But I wanted it to be a little bit longer than this of this. Because it's going to end up coming up to be a minimum of 9 inches. Or let's see what this is. So we'll have really, yeah, this is about 8, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go with the 8.5 inches. So I'm just going to cut this lengthways then. So let's go ahead and put this down here. And so this is 16 inches. And then width, again, we decided we wanted it to be about a 6.5 inch zipper. So I'm going to use the top of the ruler. We want a little bit over it when we it's actually about an 8 inch. And then I'm going to move this up a little. Don't have the biggest cutting board in this space. And there we go. Perfect. So now I've got that all set. This is my extra. Clean up my space a little bit. So now what I do is I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down, and I'm going to lay this on top here. And I'm going to actually pin it to the um, all right. So I've got this pin, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this again. So we're marking this for our zipper. I'm going to be about 6.5 inches. I think I'm going to make it 6 inches because that should fit it just fine. And so I brought this down. You can start on the edge. So this would be 6.5. So we'll start at the 8 inches wide. So we'll start at the 1, and I'll go down to that right here. Okay, so now what you're going to do, now that I've got that marked, is we're going to actually mark 2 additional slits, and we're actually going to cut this in to be able to fold the fabric. So let's go ahead and prepare to fold our fabric into this slot. All right, so now we've got our thread and cut through these layers. This is making a zip here. And then, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Perfect. So now went ahead and made the slots to be able to pull this through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew this on. So we're going to head back over to our sewing machine, clear some space here. I've got my 2 zippers still ready to go. Perfect. Just knocked something like this. So in order to do that, we're going to do a few things. And we're going to go ahead and because we're doing a zipper, I will go ahead and use a zipper foot. Oops. Let's see if I can cut that. Cut this. Perfect. All right. And then we'll have to go back to that embroidery in a little bit when I can find the right foot for it. Apparently, that was not the right foot. All right. So let's go ahead and put this foot on for doing some of our basic sewing. And we'll get this needle on. And all right. Perfect. Got to get that lifted up a little bit. And excellent. All right, so now we've gone ahead and got our new needle in. We are going to go ahead and thread that needle. So we're going to put that. Oh, look how amazing that threader works. I love it so much. And how easy it is to pull that thread out is also really, really nice. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and just sew this on. So I'm going to go ahead and lift my foot here. And I've got my 1/4 inch option. And then we're going to move over now that we're done using our embroidery machine here. And we are going to move all of this stuff, and we are going to put our extension table on. And so let me go ahead and make some room here, guys. Sorry. I'm going to move some stuff around. Because this is a honker of a machine. Let me show you how big this is. This right here is the moving on both our system. Okay, now we'll move all of this back over here, and we got room for it. And this. So if I switches, but we'll go ahead and do it without. And we're going to go ahead and get this machine going again. There we go. All right, so the machine wanted us to restart. So as I go ahead and do the my zipper, I want to keep in mind that we are going to be using this foot right here. And there we go. Okay, perfect. So let's get you a little bit closer. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and just align my foot to that line that I already created. And we're going to just box around the slots that I made because we're going to end up pulling those through. All right, so let's go ahead and stitch out our zipper pocket area. Okay. Okay, and so I'm just going to move that down and stitch our next section here. Yeah, go back a little. Okay. Oopsie, sorry about that. Got my camera all messed up there. This little. And oh, this is so cool, guys. So this is a feature that's on this machine. You can raise and lower the needle bar just with this little thumb wheel right here. Let me show you it. Oh, raise you up slightly. Look at that thumb wheel. You can raise and lower the needle super easily with that. All right, so we've got our zipper slot ready to go. We're going to pull this through, and then, oops. We're going to do this a little differently. That should have been facing backwards, but you know what? This is just making it kind of a unique look. A little bit of a darker fabric. Okay, so now we've got that in, and we could iron this a little bit to go ahead and lay that flat. So I've just pulled that around. Let me show you on this camera here. All right, so I've gone ahead and just flipped this through here so you can kind of see that. And so what I was going to do is iron this right here. Actually, I have my iron, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. And kind of iron that down. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to install our zipper. So I will put, let's see, these are both 9-inch. So I will use this. Look at this. This has the $1 zipper right there. I have to say this has to be like from 1950s. I love it. So now I'm going to go ahead and install my zipper, and I go ahead and I'm going to use this again. So I'm going to install it just by using my pens. So let me pull my pen out again and put everything, attach everything a little bit tighter so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And there you go. And next one. Okay. And then we're going to do over two. All right. The last thing that I'll do is I'll form the pocket and then go ahead and attach everything. And okay, so I have my zipper all ready. Look at it from this side. Oh, it's gonna be like one of those no-show zippers. That's kind of fun. Okay, so let's head back over to the sewing machine, and there we go. I got a little bit more room here to play with, so I can get you really close into this. Oops, sorry, there. All right, and I'm gonna make sure everything is attached nicely. Okay. Now, since this is going to show, I want to do it from this side if I can. And okay. All right. And go ahead and move that. Kind of trying to avoid going over the zipper right here. So I'm just going to put that in and come around a little bit. There we go. All right. And move that over a little. All right. So let's go ahead and finish our zipper on this side. And I'm just going to pull this a little bit tighter. Make that a little bit more aesthetically what I'm looking for. Perfect. Okay. And so now I've got my zipper installed. So now I'm going to go ahead and kind of close this off a little bit. And I can cut this extra zipper away when I want to, but I will go ahead and sew this along this edge really quick. Oops. Get everything lined up here. I'm going to sew along this just so I can see it from this angle. All And now we've got our zipper installed. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our next step, which is that we are going to go ahead and fold this over and turn this into a zipper. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this. So now is the time where we can cut off our extra. We can find our scissors. We're going to cut off our extra zipper right here. There we go. There's the zippers, but they may have fallen. So I'm just going to cut off the extra zipper I have. And perfect. And I've got all secure the end, so I'm good to go there. So now I'm just going to secure this side of the pocket. So let's go back over, and I'll pin it before I secure it. So we go here. All right. And like I said, to go grunt look. That's what we're calling when we actually meant to do the right side facing the top of the fabric for our pocket, and we did the wrong side. So now we've got kind of this grungy look, which actually I think goes a little bit better with the panel. So what do you guys think? Am I recovering here? Now so our pocket. So in order to do that, to get our way, and this is just kind of securing everything. So all right, so I'm just going to use the foot as my guide. And of course, you don't want to sew this into the cover because that's going to be separate. And let me lift this up and get that out of the way. All right. Just going to go over a little bit both here. And then on a little bit. All right. Come on. And so we got that. And really that, you missed out, guys. If we really want to be pros about this, we could do a liner. Let me move you back over here, actually. We could do a liner, and we could go ahead and cover this pocket up because it's not super pretty. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and just kind of do it the fast way and not add the liner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up these and install my other zipper. So my other zipper, I want to be on the right side of this because I want to open. So when this is pulled through, then I want my zipper to open on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and install the zipper then on this side. Oh, look at that color. It's like a perfect match, guys. And so I'm going to pin in my zipper into this. That zipper is a little short, I think. Let me see if I have any other length options here. I think I'm going to go blue. This is a 9-inch, great for pockets, not so great for the zipper paddle cover. So we're going to go 20 inches because we need a little bit more. And we're going to have the zipper start at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a lid. And then I am folding. You can see this. I'm folding these into this right here. And we're going to go ahead and bring that in. So this is going to be all folded up in here. And actually, one thing that I wanted to do is I'm going to trim some of this out. So we don't need this extra. Especially this extra bulk is not helping as we're trying to make this look pretty. So go ahead and fold up to itself and make it so when this is open and turned right side out, then it will zipper up correctly. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pin this right here with that in place. All right, and this can be a little tricky, so I'm just hoping that it goes well for me, and I don't break a needle right out of the gate or something like I already did. Attach this to my edge of one side, and I am going to try to keep it closed for the first, and when I go ahead and attach it to the second side, I'll open it up a little bit. All right. This is just kind of following the lines of the paddle. So there's other ways to do this. We could absolutely add kind of more of a lining and then add the lining to and the sashing to the zipper, and definitely would create a little bit just in doing this. I'm just kind of doing this a little bit using just the pickleball paddle or just the practice panel. And so, but that is definitely an option. And I've looked at some different options online, and that seems like it would be, a super clean option too. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach this. There we go. So now I've got that rolled up all nice. I'm going to go ahead and do it on this side as well. And cut out some extra batting. This is, we use the fusible batting on this side. So the fusible batting, it is actually a lot thinner. So I'm not going to worry. And then get this into this. There you go. Rolling that in. Perfect. All right, so we got some pen action here. And just kind of rolling this up. Pen action. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and since I've decided I'm going to install the zipper on this side, I will go ahead and sew up this side first. So I'm just going to go ahead and, first I'm going to attach my zipper. So let's go ahead and get our zipper attached. Perfect. So I'm going to move you over here. Right there, and you see I'm going ahead and putting that down. I've pinned all of my zipper placement here, and I'm going to go ahead and this zipper on. I'm going to actually go ahead and switch feet really quick though, because this foot seems a little wide. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so there's this lovely zipper foot here. So I'm just going to use this feature right here, my snap-on foot, and put that foot on, and I've got my zipper foot in place. And we're going to go over to, let's see. All right. And we're going to move the needle. Let's see. Okay. And let's take a look at the foot that we're going to use here. Okay, so because I don't want another repeat of what I've already done, just want to make sure that I'm not going to get myself into trouble here. And all right, so I just moved the needle to on this machine, which of course is going to make a difference depending on what machine you're on. But I've just moved the needle over to the 3.8. So, and then I'm going to start down here again. All right. And then I'm going to move this needle out of the way. And I'm going to tell you, the feet matter, guys. Using the right feet for this stuff, you're using an extra big foot, definitely does not make it easy. And I'm going to use a lot of pins to make sure that this stayed in place. All right. And I'm just going to sew it up a little bit further, and then we are going to go ahead and add our hat. Okay, so there, put that there, and I'm going to go ahead and back it up a little bit. All right, so we've got that one side on, and now we're going to go ahead and attach the other side here. Okay. So let's go ahead and sew these together. Excellent. And let me change my foot again. Have fun changing feet here. And there we go. Perfect. And just kind of using the edge of the foot to align, make sure they stay about a 1/4 inch away from the pieces. I'm gonna check every now and then, make sure everything's still lined up. All right. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and add this in here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. And we're just going to, now that we've got this side sewn, oh, let me go ahead and do the edges. All right, so let's head back over to that. Okay, so we've got our pattern still here. So now we're going to go ahead and release this, and we're going to flip this right side out. So we officially have our pickleball paddle cover almost done. We just need to attach our other side of our zipper, and then we're going to hide this seam, and voila. So in order to attach the other side of our zipper, we're going to go ahead and come along here. Oopsies. And bring this in. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move us back over to the camera here. Oops. And we are going to use our pins one last time. Now unzip this. To get these on. I saw people say they haven't played pickleball yet. But I tell you, I was watching one of the YouTube videos on this. Someone was saying that they were going on a cruise with a pickleball court. That would be my dream. I will say that I'm not sure how successful you're going to be if you're bumping around, cruising down in the ocean. That could be a little bit more challenging. But okay, so we've got that one. So now we're ready to install this onto perfect. All right. You know, I will say that pickleball paddle is got a lot going on as far as this one. So when I did this last time, I found myself kind of tucking everything in a little bit and then sewing it at the end. And so that might be something that I go ahead and do again. All right, so we're going back over to the sewing machine. There she is. And we're going to sew this side on. So, before I do that, I loved this amazing foot. So let's put this foot back on, and we use the right attachment. There it is. All right. This is so great for my zipper. So I'm going to put this back on, and we're going to start sewing. All right. So here we go. honest, I probably wouldn't have chosen, oops, I probably wouldn't have chosen this turquoise for this panel, but I had to choose quick because I needed a 20-inch. So hopefully we can find someone that's going to love turquoise as much as I do. That will appreciate this. This might end up being for my daughter. She lives in a sunny place where they get to play pickleball year round, and makes me jealous because that would be my pickleball outdoors year round. Would be my dream. All right. And a little bit further up. Okay. There we go. And all right. So I'm going to unzip this a little bit further. And I do think that keeping it a little bit more unzipped as you come around is, or unzipping it as you come around is really helpful, because then that makes it so you can make sure that everything is going to align okay. All right, so I get in here. I feel like this is going to be one of the more awkward things that you could make, just with all the curves and the zippers and all that jazz. There's a lot going on here, so. Okay. And oopsie daisies. Tuck this into here as we get up here. That's looking really nice. All right, look at that, guys. We've almost got a finished pickleball paddle cover. All right, so now I'm just going to do some cleanup, which also includes putting the zipper on the correct side of this piece of fabric here. But I'm going to just clean up trim up these edges right here. So you see that we've got some extra bulk right here. So I'm just going to trim that up. This is where that lining would come in really nice. I'm just going to trim that off a little bit and clean this up. But now you've got a padded bag to keep your pickleball paddle in and to keep your phone in. So voila, we're going to zip that up. I'll clean it up a little bit, like I said, and I'll add my seams to this bottom part right here. But we were going to show you just how amazing this becomes, where you can go ahead and open this up, put your phone in it, put your keys in, and voila, now you have your completed bag with your pickleball able to go in, your pickleball paddle able to go in there, and everything ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And like I said, in order to go ahead and create this, I definitely think the 9-inch zipper and the 20-inch zipper are ideal. Here's my finished one that I have right here. I'm just going to add a little bit of seams to the bottoms. And then, of course, we have our amazing zipper pocket right here. Same exact opportunity. And I got the zipper on the right side. So I'm super happy about that as well. So thank you so much for watching today, and we'll look forward to having you join us for another live today at 1 p.m. Donnell's going to be here live. She is going to be sharing with everyone her amazing Circle Society class preview. She's making a super, super cute fall project, so I hope you come back and join Donnell today at 1 o'clock. Now, I have to tell you, today is really your last day. So if you have not gone to our So Steady website and clicked the link to enter to win our partner giveaways for our third quarter, then you are going to miss out, because tomorrow we are giving away a whole bunch of things. I think I've got like 10 different items that we're going to be giving away, including fabric bundles from In the Beginning Fabric, including really fun hit the floor mats projects, fabric, and all the things you need to make the quilted floor mats from Big Designs. We've got 2 different mini irons that we're going to be giving away from Clover. We've got an amazing thread kit we're giving away from Wonderful. So you absolutely need to get in there, click to enter to win. We're going to be sending an email out shortly. If you're on our email list, great. Go ahead and get in there. The link will be in there as well. But if you go to our blog and you enter our third quarter partner giveaways, that's where you're going to find what you need to be able to enter to win all of those amazing prizes that we've got going on tomorrow and more. We're going to be launching our new fourth quarter box tomorrow. We've got some really, really fun classes for you in that. You're going to be super inspired. We've done some awesome things in partnering with the sewing world. And we've got some amazing fourth quarter giveaways. I'm talking amazing. So I hope you join us for that. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made a pickleball paddle cover with our practice panels. So every time you get a practice panel, there's more you can do. So we look forward to having you join us tomorrow and later today and Friday, every day, for more sewing fun. Thanks, everyone.